Black Brilliance is a production of Twin Cities PBS. This program is part of American Graduate. Let's make it happen. A public media initiative made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
The education system in this country is failing students. The students aren't failing.
In the state of Minnesota, we have the biggest academic achievement gap between like a Caucasian student and African American student.
Yeah, there's an achievement gap, but believe in your heart. Believe what you know. You know you can do this.
Teach me what I need to know, need to be successful. We're trying not to focus on the negative.
A high school diploma is like the first step to starting life, I feel like, because you need your education to do anything like post-high school.
I want to go to a culinary college. Because I love cooking. I can make anything. Name it, I can make it.
I want to be an educator, and not that I want to teach in a school, but just like I am a student of the game, I want to be able to pass that knowledge down to the people that come after me.
My mom always told me it was never an option with her. So it's always been like, I'm going to college. It's an expectation, not even an expectation, it's kind of like a law.
My plan is to get back into education, to fix education. I want to give kids that necessarily can't see themselves succeeding in the education system a chance to succeed. People need to hear this message. To be a part of this message is to be at the table and witness change and witness growth, you know, within yourselves and within the people around you.
One of my best friends, her name's Shay. We met doing black box spoken word.
I remember you helping me try to get through my first slam. I think that's when I really found out what I wanted to do.
Particular society, group, place, or time.
Hip-hop. I teach theater at Washburn High School. I run a social justice black box theater program. Ishay, she has been a student in my program. This is her 3rd year. And basically it's a type of theater that highlights youth voice pertaining to issues in their community and social justice issues. Everything that the students generate comes from them. It's their words, their scenes, their characters.
I've noticed the language in between the lines in this building, and it says that I'm not equal to those around me.
But because with your mirrors, I do not fit your equation, I need to be subtracted and divided into features that look like yours.
I rock the backpack with the books zipped up until my knowledge becomes acknowledged.
I have taught myself that my drive for knowledge and social justice cannot be quenched by just the white standard of it.
3, 2, 1, action. So when I got into black box theater, it was like, oh, so I can talk about my feelings and not act like my feelings are invisible, and I can drive that to be great, and I can drive that to change something. When me and Miss Spring met, and I was like, yeah, these are my problems, you know. She's like, tell everybody, you know, tell everybody. Don't ever sit silently at a dinner table because you won't get fed, you know, like, speak. And once I was granted my voice, I was able to change internally and externally. This is you, right? You going through your thing. You get up, you toss the chair, you're pissed off.
I think she's very wise for her age. She can see the scope of a situation that I think other young people can't always see. She can kind of see the bigger picture.
She's really passionate and present in conversations concerning like social justice and like the black experience.
Speak loudly and no one will hear you, black man.
She's like a concerned citizen. She's very concerned about things that are going on in Washburn, which makes her concerned about the things going on in South Minneapolis. And I think that that's very exciting to watch, having like a young person be curious.
You guys are together. 4 years she's been here, I have been Ishay's dean. And she sought my advice in many aspects of her life. Almost like a big sister or auntie, a friend.
Could kids that probably go through the same situation as me stay in school? I had a very bad situation at my mom's house. How am I gonna still be Ishay and fight through my bad situations and my tough situations and still not show weakness?
We have kids in that situation, and we have part of what you're made up of, and it's part of what support you get, and it's part of what the outside influences do to you. It's totally case by case. And I was always impressed by your resilience.
You know.
Ishay could have anything in this world that she wanted, as long as she has the support.
For real, like, we did come from like completely different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And we gravitated towards the same work and like writing about it and showing people that like it's more than just, you know, having a struggle and, you know, aggressively falling into the stereotypes like of black youth and, you know, getting into gang activity or getting into, you know, drugs or this or that. And I think we always just like, we try to set an example that like there's an art form to where you can express all that you need to say when people aren't listening to you, and like this is how you do it.
They sing in my name. I'm a 40-60 grand pulling out the spot.
I believe I'm an educated black male, which is a really big deal.
Can they go get the show? Let me get on stage at the lights. I can feel it in my bones. I'm gonna make it sound if they like.
Because there are a lot of stereotypes that label black males as thugs or not intelligent, but I take pride in the fact that I'm educated and I'm articulate.
The first time I met Lucian as a 9th grader, he introduced me to spoken word, and he suggested that every Friday we have a spoken word open mic in the classroom. He's a really talented writer and a really talented artist, but he also allows other people to feel their own gift as well by his support of people.
But I've always been expected to achieve because people know that I'm a, you know, ambitious student and an intuitive student and a hard worker.
I need some new motivation. I can't be working for free.
Tish Jones, she runs a program called True Art Speaks, which is a nonprofit organization that really educates kids and community members on like social politics. She has always been one of the biggest supporters of me. And
Lucian is a very self-determined young man. And he's got a lot of drive and a lot of ambition. He started off as a young man who used to write poetry and keep it in his notebook, and that through this process of meeting folks and being in a larger network of other folks, that cracked his shell. You know, he was able to spread his wings a little bit and become the guy who writes and expresses verbally, produces his own shows and his own events.
Support systems in my life, like my family's really supportive of what I want to do. What was it like to be raised by white parents as a black child? Normal. I mean, for me, it was always, you know, it was just like, I didn't come from you, obviously, but blood doesn't necessarily determine, you know, what a father is, what a mother is. You know, it's the people that take care of you and love you and present morals to you that you will grow with. And all I can do is fall back on the things that I grew up with and the morals that I was raised around. And, I mean, that's really what parenting is.
My mother. She doesn't put pressure on me to be a better person. She helps us guide our way to being a better person. If she sees us kind of slacking on the side, she'll lift us up in the most positive way that she can. And she's not hard, you know, I expect this from you. I just expect the best for you, for yourself. That's my biggest person right there for me, and my mom.
My daughter Shakira is so unique because she does everything to the 10th power. We all gonna go through trials and tribulations in life, but I think if you want your life to be the best, you have to succeed at that. You really just have to push you. You know, I can't push my kid to be a doctor if that's not what she really want to do, you know.
They cut up about 2 of them. All right, so and since I love cooking and I'm in a chef program and I have a job in a foods area, my whole family does believe I'm gonna own my own restaurant. They say, oh, you're gonna master it all.
If you're a smart, quick learner like you are, you're gonna be able to really set yourself apart from a lot of people in food service.
Getting up and doing it, not sitting around waiting for it to come to me, I gotta go to it. And just, you know, being around people who believe in me for me to believe in myself. And I also, you know, put positiveness inside of me too.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Having a nice job my own place and going to school and doing something I love, culinary mostly, being on my own and succeeding my own way. Like you say, you want me to do what I gotta do Shy's way. So I want to do this my way.
In my family, and this with my whole family, we're all trying to push our kids to be better than us. So we don't repeat the same mistakes over and over again. Education is a must. There's nothing else but it.
Arts, I do a lot of that, drawing, photography, graphic design. And one of the activities I do outside of school is an internship at Rev Academy. They specialize in teaching students media skills. I've learned graphic and web design skills, also a bit of coding. As the students working there, they give us a certain project that a client comes in, so we do anywhere from building up their website to their branding, to logo design, business card design.
Michael is a really cerebral person. He is able to take an idea from a client and really run with it. He's just got an eye on the design, very detail oriented, but then also is able to see the big picture.
Michael Arnold has been a student of mine for 2 years. He just really knows what he wants, and so in terms of all the things that the pressures in high school that can be negative, so he can just be like, nope, that's not for me, this is what's for me. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to intern here, you know, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to respect my family, respect myself.
Realize how long they'll be in school.
Obviously, your parents give so much to give you a better life than what they had, but I know even if they didn't do the greatest things that the world will recognize, they did some of the greatest things that I'll recognize.
My mom always said I had an old soul, but I really believe he has an old soul. As a kid, most kids were outside playing. He was reading or drawing. Like I always tell him, I said, the world is hard. We're always gonna be there for you. We're always gonna have your best interest in mind. So you could talk to us about anything. You're my son. I love you. I would never judge you.
Oh, okay. He's in graphics design, so we always talk about how to go through the different programs that they have in Minnesota so you can learn how to do the branding. So long as you have that education, you can go and do anything you want in life. So we always teach them, the more you know, the more you grow.
Seventh grade to now, I got more serious, and I feel like I was a slacker. I was just the kid, like I'm in all the basic classes, nothing too much, nothing too little, I'm just going by. But then as I got older and I started realizing that I needed to step up my game in the classroom. During the school year, I played varsity volleyball, and then I played off-season for Crossfire.
Ivey is a real spark plug for our team. There are times where our practices get a little tough and kids are tired and they're kind of a little grumpy and that, and Ivey always cracks a joke or does something to get the kids to smile. Given the opportunity, I think she could go a long ways. You know, again, just her demeanor is a real positive.
My mom, my family, my sister, my dad, they're just motivational all around. Education is really important to her and my father because they both graduated from high school, so they know that in order for me to be successful, I need to make sure I get my diploma first and then worry about everything else afterwards.
My hope for you for the future is that you're happy in whatever you pursue, whatever challenges may lay forward in front of you, that you keep your head up and you always remember where you come from.
Through these years, I have taught my skin it does not need to hide what it likes because of the fear of being seen as a threat.
Why is it that when I walk down the street, you clutch your purse? Why is it that every time I reach out to help, I feel like you're trying to hurt?
They will label you black man, whether they whisper it in shame or shade.
Black and white PD make my heart beat faster. Brown boy, black man, may you know no master.
I love to be myself, different from everyone else, but still judged with words that they created themselves.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. The lie they always told me.
Like if somebody kind of almost like reach, but kind of.
I would like to not be stereotyped as the angry black woman that can't shut up. It kills me when people stereotype me and put me in those boxes.
So some of the stereotypes that I feel like I get a lot are just being like the loud black girl, ghetto black girl.
A lot of the black girls who I'd go to school with, oh, don't talk to her because she sounds like a white girl. You don't sound black, you're not black. And that would bother me.
I get it coming from my school, like, oh, you live in Northside Minneapolis? I'm like, yeah, I do. It gets to be annoying at sometimes because I'm like, you don't live in the area, so you don't really know what's happening there. You just hear what's ever on the news about it.
As a black man, you do have to say to your son, hey, you shouldn't walk around with your hood on your head because this could happen.
It's tough not always fitting in as far as your identity of who you are as a black woman. And that's why I try to teach my girls, be happy who you are, what you are, no matter what somebody else got to say about you.
Achievement gap, achievement gap, achievement gap, achievement gap. That's something that I've heard so much since I was in middle school.
Yeah, there's an achievement gap because we are expecting students to learn traditionally, and it isn't happening that way. Everybody's supposed to walk into a room, everybody's supposed to sit at a desk and come out spitting out all this knowledge, passing these standardized tests, and not every student learns that way.
Once I reached high school, just the structure, the teaching styles, the formalities that you go through.
Yeah, it plays into how I prefer to learn. Being taught out of a book is boring to me because I learn from a kinesthetic type of learning style. So either movement or that high energy helps me.
Achievement addresses the people it's affecting, you know, and I think sometimes within language we blame the oppressed for their own oppression.
Oh, I think it was fairly honest to say that African Americans were a large part of the gap because the traditional learning was tailored towards white, Caucasian students.
You know, when Dr. Martin Luther King saying like we need integrated classrooms, we got that. I think the problem with our education system now is not enough Latino kids or black kids or Hmong kids. They're not seeing themselves in the history books that we teach. So what they often do is associate who they're supposed to be with the broken communities that are around them and not seeing teachers that look like you. I think that, you know, that cages away kids of color, you know, because we can't see ourselves in success.
What can we do on our end to ensure that we're actually reaching young people and engaging with them in a real, authentic way?
If they drop the stereotypes or like targeting just a specific group of people and they looked at all of us equal, our school would it would prosper, it would go further.
You know, everything can't get fixed overnight, but the process and the time that we put into it is what's gonna bring forth the change, and that's the hope in it.
I'm thinking about Black excellence and how powerful we are as a people, and that when given the opportunity and a healthy environment, we bloom.
Got lashes lurking on my body from my enslaved predecessors, but I refuse to allow all these scars to fester.
You will have mother and father. Give your seed to grow this tree of struggle, and that you will be tough, strong, brown, and beautiful, just like you, black man, brown son.
What's crazy to me is like how like our drive came from like two different places. Like for me, I was just always taught to like create my own path. For you, it was like doing all the things that you did was like your only escape from your home life.
Yeah.
Like that's what you had to do to be good. Like.
So of October of last year, me and my mom got into an altercation. I got kicked out of my house. I'm gonna stay with my best friend. And I was just like really needing stability. So I had made a decision to move in with my boyfriend. And it's crazy being in the situation that I'm in and like still having to be the person that I am at school.
I think like this situation here, my mom being able to help her, me being able to help her, you know, being over here is like the best for her. So I seen that as being like, being able to like help her succeed in school, because I know things wouldn't go right if she's like living in a certain area, like people not checking up on her to make sure she's doing her work.
So staying with my boyfriend is great to also know that the love that I'm getting now, I can share back out into the community and into my siblings when I take them out or if we hang out, you know. And I still have a relationship with my mom because I believe deeply that we're all human and we're gonna make mistakes, and we are not gonna be bestest friends today, but we're gonna work on it tomorrow.
I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was 5 years old in kindergarten. And it never bothered me, not really, until 10th grade year. Because some of my teachers, when they found out I had ADHD, they kind of looked at me a different way.
She has a very unique learning disability, but once she went to the alternative school, she was able to complete tasks. It held her back for 2 years, not being able to get the things that she needed educational-wise. And when you're not pushing any kid with a disability, you're not helping them. You're just hindering them.
Just because you have ADHD does not make you, you know, slower or that you won't ever learn anything. Don't let people look at you different. Just be who you were before and just do you.
A new step in the journey of love. I love and understanding life, learning and being black. Black is beautiful.
I learned that progress is a process, and this is my synopsis of my 4 years of high school.
I'm gonna cry and graduate. I'm gonna cry so bad.
I'm gonna miss you.
No, but just to know that we just been through all of this
All
stuff.
this, and we made it.
And even that being
and
in
still
high
being
school.
here now, senior year, graduating, going to college.
So for me, finding the dress was like hard, but yeah. And of course I got like my heels to go with it, cause can't be a true grown woman without some heels. And I'm about to get a diploma that accepts me into adulthood. So yeah, I don't know, I put a lot of thought into little things.
We're all getting so
I thought this was...
How you feel getting here, man?
Journey.
You ready?
It's a journey.
You ready to be adults? This is our diplomas to be adults.
When I was walking out, I saw my mom and my little brother and sister and my sister sitting there waving at me. And it was just really nice to see them all there.
I talked to my advisory teacher, and I was like, hey, can we take a selfie when I get on stage? He was like, yeah. So when I was standing on the side, I gave him the eye contact thing, and he was like, so when I walked across, I was just like, okay, let's make this moment great.
Ivey Chanel Robinson.
And so I looked at him and we took the picture, and then when I got my diploma, I was just like, I finally did it, and it was a huge relief. I felt like I accomplished something big, so.
The Washburn class of 2015.
I'm definitely a little nervous, but I mean, that's normal. I'll get over that. But yeah, mostly excited to go meet the people that I'm gonna be spending the next 4 years with.
I feel like I'm moving into the next part of my life, and I think it's the most pivotal part of my life. You know, it's when I'm gonna go off, really test my independent self and my abilities as a headstrong young adult to figure out how to navigate, the world and the career, and figure out the things that I need to figure out on my own.
Success to me, Mom, is not succeeding in someone else's eyes, it's succeeding in your own eyes. But you always told me, don't succeed for other people, succeed for yourself.
My dream for Shakira was for Shakira to be as successful as Shakira can be.
And that's just I gotta work up to it and all that. I know that. It's just, I wanna have the life where you don't have a worry. Not the perfect life, the easy life, the simple life, the don't worry life.
All right, I made it through this stage of my life. Now it's prepping. It's not anticipation, it's trying to get myself mentally prepared to go into a different environment in another 4 years of education.
I feel like that chapter is over, and now I have a book to go through. So that was just one thing, but I'm really excited for it.
Shadows lurking, let me place this ventilation. School don't teach me nothing, it's poetry educating. I'm just hanging on.
I believe that I have the full potential to take my music career to the highest level. Obtaining the tools to push my career to the next level, I pursue my passion and I pursue the things that I want to do. But I'm gonna make music because that's what I love to do.
Ishay Natrice Brantley.
And I feel like high school is an accomplishment to those that have been put in a situation to not graduate. And I've been put in a situation plenty of times to not graduate, but I just haven't let those hurdles, you know, defeat me in the end goal. I know the system is not built for minority kids, so I want to make sure that I'm a face that they see when they walk into the doors. I set the bar so high for myself that no matter what I go through in life, I'm gonna succeed in it, you know?
It feels so good. It took such a long time, such a long effort. Yeah. Ah, I got my diploma. I'm done with high school forever.
You want a hand? Just one hand?
All right. Woo! Now this is the spot. That's awesome!
Black Brilliance is a production of Twin Cities PBS. This program is part of American Graduate. Let's make it happen. A public media initiative made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.